Rosa Goes to the City by Ahmed Garg. In the middle of a big city, there was a small zoo, and inside lived a baby elephant. Her name was Rosa. The zookeeper loved little Rosa very much and cared for her in every possible way. Many visitors came to see Rosa and watched in fascination as she ate a dozen bananas in one go. Rosa was well looked after, but she missed the company of other elephants. One day, after feeding Rosa, the keeper forgot to lock the door of her cage. Soon she was out of the zoo. First, she came across an ice cream vendor standing by the roadside. He saw Rosa and ran away. The curious little elephant stuck her trunk into the icebox. Something tasted so cold, sweet, and delicious that she simply gulped it all down. Rosa kept moving about, her eyes searching for someone. Finally, inside a shop, she saw a herd of elephants on a television screen. Friends, she thought, and marched into the TV shop. Everybody inside the shop ran out, leaving her alone. Rosa tried talking to the elephants on the TV screen, but they didn't reply. Confused and disappointed, she walked out. Back on the street, she saw a coconut seller selling coconuts. Wow! I've found a ball. It's playtime now, she cried and kicked a coconut high into the air. It flew across the road and landed right beside a boy playing in the park. Rosa ran across the road, determined to get her coconut ball. Cars screeched, buses honked, and drivers began to yell at each other. Rosa had created a traffic jam. The traffic police moved in to take control. The zoo was informed. Ignoring the commotion around her, Rosa simply ran into the park. She stopped in front of the little boy, who was smiling at her. He giggled and patted the elephant. Rosa trumpeted back with excitement at her newfound friend. By now, the zookeeper had reached the park. Seeing Rosa in the open space of the park, he understood that she would never be happy in a cage. The zoo transferred Rosa to a protected forest, away from the city, where many other elephants roamed freely. Rosa grew up very happily. Now, instead of watching Rosa behind bars in a cramped cage, visitors could see her among lots of trees, still gulping down.
The First Christmas. Retold by Eliane Pinheiro and Maura Hurley. Around the month of December, children like to imagine what happened on the very first Christmas ever, even before Santa Claus. I know the story well, for I was watching it all from above, in the dark sky on the evening of December 24th, oh, so many years ago. I am the Star of Bethlehem. I was requested by angels to shine brighter than all the other stars that night, to tell the whole world that a very special child had been born to spread goodwill and peace. And this is the story of the first Christmas. All was quiet that night as I watched the three kings traveling slowly on camelback through desert lands. Just then I beamed brightly as the angels had told me to. The kings noticed me in the east. They couldn't resist my brilliance. Perhaps they had heard that a star like me was going to show the way to the Son of God. Traveling through the night, the kings met shepherds watching over their flock. We are following that incredibly beautiful star there in the east to find the place where the Son of God has just been born. From there, they all traveled together, watching me, the brightest star in the sky. Finally, they arrived at a small town called Bethlehem and saw that I was gleaming radiantly above the barnyard of an inn. All was quiet and peaceful. Their caravan entered the barnyard to see the tender little baby lying in a simple manger fluffed with hay. Next to the baby were Mary and Joseph, his mother and father, and many farm animals. The kings offered the precious gifts they'd carried from afar for baby Jesus. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The shepherds kneeled on the ground to pray. They were grateful for the gift of love and the purity the baby brought. Many people offered gifts after that. I suppose this is why, on Christmas Day, people around the world enjoy offering gifts as a sign of love and hope. And they try their best to bring happiness to others, as Jesus did all his life. Now, I'd like to wish you a holiday season that shines as brightly as the Star of Bethlehem.
Tihar Jail. The jail warden led me through a dark, winding passage. I was almost suffocated by the humid stench of the open gutters that lined the walls. Soon, we came to an opening where hundreds of people, all dressed in striped rags, stood looking at me in wonder. The warden suddenly broke the silence by yelling some commands at the crowd. Where there was space for 2,500 prisoners, more than 10,000 were herded together within the walls of Tihar Jail. I thought to myself, if there was a hell on earth, this was it. That very moment, I realized why I had been posted as the Inspector General, or IG, of the infamous Tihar Jail in Delhi. I had to do something to improve the condition of the prisoners. I knew that it would be the toughest challenge in my career. I began to visit the prisoners every day. I was told that the IGs posted there before me never set foot inside the jail premises. In the beginning, the prisoners would crowd around me and not speak much because they feared the wardens. I would sit among large groups and discuss their problems. I knew that apart from improving the hygiene and general condition of the prison, I had to also keep the prisoners busy so that they would not have any time to get into trouble. I started by introducing some simple but effective routines for them, such as walks around the prison, sporting events, and cultural events like singing and acting. I soon formed a group of trusted officials who helped me. A major problem that my team and I faced was that of religious groupings and enmity between them. To put an end to this danger, we began to celebrate festivals from all religions, such as Rakhi, Holi, Ramzan, and Christmas. This helped the inmates to accept each other's religious practices and even feel good about participating in them. I also made sure plenty of books were available. Soon, many universities began to offer courses for the prisoners. We introduced meditation and helped them think positively and plan their life after prison. I was posted in Tihar Jail between 1993 and 1995. Those 2 years were the most fruitful years of my life. On my last day, as I went on my usual round of the prison, I saw what could only be described as an ashram of Indian rishis. Hundreds of hardened criminals who had committed the worst of crimes were sitting peacefully in meditation. The grounds were green and filled with sunlight. Inmates were either preparing for exams or learning a craft that they were passionate about.